What is going on, everybody? Welcome to What's the 411. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Of course, you know what it is. Every single Monday, right here at 8 o'clock, we just jump right into it. We have a bunch of amazing guests who are going to share their fabulous journey with us in order to edify us and to bring us that real. You know what I mean? So, of course, without further ado, I will allow this gentleman to introduce himself, Mr. Jamaal. Tell everybody who you are and what you do, because there's a lot of things that you do.
So I'll just give you a brief intro. So first of all, thank you for having me on the platform. Much appreciated and much respected as well. So for those who don't know, my name is Jamaal Augustine, also known as Jawigs, or some people call me Mpro Graphics by my business name. So on the daily, I do graphic designing, printing, marketing, and promotion, and I work with a lot of growing businesses and entrepreneurs. Different than that, a lot of people also know me because I do a lot of different type of events in the city, such as pop-up shops, vendor markets, networking events, book fairs, and things like that.
You have your hand in the pot. You're doing a lot. I see this. I see this. So I actually seen the first one of your pages, I guess, was the Fantastic Book Fair. That's where I seen what you were doing. So talk to us a bit about that, and then we'll get into all of the different aspects of your entrepreneurship.
All right, definitely. Well, so the Fantastic Book Fair is it's a project that started about 2 years ago. About a year and a half ago. In doing different events with different entrepreneurs and different pop-up shops, I've always had an author here or there, an author here or there that come to me and, along the same lines, they're looking for an outlet to sell their books, looking for an outlet to promote themselves and get themselves out there. So some of the authors actually will say to me, "Oh, I don't like doing just normal pop-up shops." They would rather be in a setting with other authors and things like that. So that was always stuck in the back of my head. So I always had that thought running, right? In addition to that, I always had memories of, when we were in school and they used to have the Scholastic Book Fair, where, you get that pamphlet and then you take it home, you take all your time circling all the different books that you want, right? Then you go give it to your parents and they cross off half everything off that list. You're not getting that, you're not getting that, you're not getting that, you're getting that, right? So it was those memories, you know what I mean? I always loved the excitement of, the book fair, today's the book fair. You're going in the gym, you see all the different books and all the different, those type of activities. I was a reader when I was a kid. So I used to love the Goosebumps series. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Goosebumps, but there was an author goes by the name of R.L. Stine, and he had a series called Goosebumps. So it was like scary-ish kind of books for kids. In addition to that, I was always like reading different like wrestling magazines and different things like that. So I always kind of enjoyed reading. So again, my mind's always moving and I'm always thinking of new innovative ways to kind of get people's information out there. So I had those thoughts and memories of the Scholastic Book Fair, and then I had these entrepreneurs that were looking for different ways to promote their books and their creative works. So again, my mind started running, and I'm like, hey, well, let's see if we can put an event together focusing on just the authors, right? Now, a lot of these authors have children's books. A lot of them have diverse ethnicity books, and a lot of them are Black authors, Canadian authors that don't have the chance to get their books where they need to be. So I said, let me use my platform, try to see if we can put an event together, get all the authors, all the creatives, all the editors in one place, and see if we can get this event running. Now, obviously, I couldn't go with the name Scholastic Book Fair because that's been there and taken, right? So I was just kind of thinking different names, and I said, fantastic. But then I was like, that's a bit too plain. I said, I want this to be a fun atmosphere. I used to have fun. I want there to be fun things that these kids are doing at the book fair. So that's how I added that funtastic instead of fantastic. So that's how the name came about. That's how the idea came to fruition. And just to give you a little bit more about the event itself, so it's not just a book fair where you're just gonna come and just see books and go home. We try to make it interactive and entertainment and edutational, as they say, where you get education and entertainment. So we have a DJ playing music. We have face painting, different events. We've had reptile show. We've had dance workshops, and our most recent edition was the back to school edition, and we introduced a youth spelling bee. So we had different people sign up from different grades, and then we had students in the audience that wanted to join in. And then yeah, the book fair was actually like a resounding success. So I'm pretty pleased with how that went. I mean, not the book fair, the spelling bee. So people have asked us to bring it back, to bring it into the next event. So every time we do it, we find new ways to kind of keep people entertained and to get the youths engaged. Now, I also want to mention that we also have different speakers, storytellers that come through and keep the youths and the parents engaged. We have Keisha Christie. She's our resident storyteller and hostess. So she's always there telling different Anansi stories and different Caribbean folk tales. Again, just to keep the youth engaged and just to get them familiar with some of the stories that when we were growing up, we heard. We all know Anansi stories and the different types like that. So I don't want these things to get lost. I have young children as well, and everybody's on their devices, on their phones, on their laptop. So I'm just trying to do my part to keep the youth a little bit more edutained.
Yeah, I like that word, edutain. No, that sounds great. So do you guys come to schools, or do you just have them kind of solely in, like, where do you host these events?
So typically, well, as the past, we've just booked different venues, and then we just host them, right? But as of recent, because it's been getting out there more, in June that just passed, somebody contacted us from Los Angeles. There's a festival called Caricon. It's a Caribbean literary festival. It's been happening for 6 years. So he's seen what the owner of the festival seen what we were doing out here, and contacted us through Keisha Christie, the storyteller that we work with, to come out there to LA, because they love the whole idea about getting the Canadian authors, the Black authors out there. So we organized a campaign where we rallied up 10 Canadian authors from down here. We brought their books, we brought some of their materials. We flew down to LA for the festival, and we were down there for 3 days in Los Angeles as part of this festival. So he gave us a whole section to kind of represent for Canada. So that was like a big milestone for us there, because I never even been to LA before, but the Fantastic Book Fair brought us to LA. And as of most recent, we've been contacted from a couple of different organizations. So I've been talking about some announcements that I'm going to be releasing and that type of stuff as well. So one of those announcements is that we got contacted from the school board, and we're going to be trying to get the Fantastic Book Fair in the different schools. Somebody's contacted us from the Toronto School Board, and then we have a couple of links in the Durham School Board, in both the Catholic and the public. So we're just kind of taking our time to see if we can get them in the schools, get the book fair in the schools, as well as get some of these authors' youth books in the schools as well, because we want these books in the libraries. We want all the young kids to have access to books that talk about and look like us. You know what I mean? So lots more big stuff coming.
That is huge. Congratulations on that, man.
Thank
That's
you.
some
Thank
big,
you.
big,
Thank
big,
you.
big stuff. Flying out to LA, bringing your that's huge.
Trust me, we were like amazed, and it was crazy. Like the places it's taking us, I could have never imagined. So, we just take it in stride.
That's good. No, but I asked because I'm always, looking for different things to get my kids in their school involved with as well. I'm a big part of the parent council, so anything that I could pitch to them to get, our community involved in, I definitely will. So you let me know how that connection goes, And then possibly, you know, for Black History Month, we can have, I would love to have the Fantastic Book Fair come down and show these kids, you know, some stuff, show them, you know, how to have some edutainment in their life. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's exactly what we want. And trust me, like after the show, we can talk about, you know, different strategies to put it towards the team and see how it goes. But it's people like yourself that, you know, have those inside connections, have those interests that we appreciate and we love, because that's how we get ourselves out there and that's how we make these type of connections. So we're definitely looking forward to it as well.
100%. That is huge, huge, big stuff. So tell us what else you do, because you're not only into this book fair, you do a whole bunch of other things. You talked about graphic designing and some other things. So talk to us about those different businesses that you run as well.
Okay, so the graphic design is kind of more my daily works. So we do like graphic design if you need business cards, flyers, banners, signs. If you need website graphics or graphics for social media, we can take care of all of that type of graphic design, as well as any type of printing that you need. So sometimes you may need some of the things I mentioned: business cards, banners, clothing. We've been in the business for a while, so we have a good link with different printers in different parts of the city, so we can take care of printing. And like going back to like when I first got into the industry, I used to DJ. So I was a DJ, and then I got into promoting, event management. So what people see nowadays is a culmination of everything that I've been doing, kind of wrapped up into one. So that's why I work with a lot of businesses, because they may need business cards or logos to help with their business. And then when they're up and running, they need things printed. And then because I do events, then they may see me doing a pop-up shop and say, hey, I got a new business. I'm looking for somewhere to sell it, somewhere to promote it. Then they know they can link me out. Can I be part of your pop-up shop? And that's how, like, again, everything just kind of meshes together. And then with the pop-up shops, again, we do, other than the book fair, we do like networking events, marketing events. And coming up is what I'm posting lately is we have our holiday markets that are coming up. So again, we have different businesses that come through, sell their items, and yeah, and have a good time. Now, the difference with our events and our pop-up shops, I always tell people it's not your grandma's pop-up shop, right? So and when I say that, I mean, a lot of times you'll go to a pop-up shop, you know, it's very calm atmosphere. Everybody's just sitting at the table, you know, walking around, you know, just checking out the goods, right? When you come to my pop-up shop, the minute you walk into the door, it's a whole vibe. It's a whole different type of energy. It's like, whoa, what is going on here? You know, you got music, you got food. I'm there doing my thing on the mic, introducing the businesses. And then yeah, so it's a pretty interactive and engaging experience. Whenever you come to the pop-up shop, people are always like amazed. So they always say it's you get that vibe, and everybody says it's you get a family vibe to it. Which is good, you know what I mean? It's when you go into a place and you don't feel awkward, you kind of feel at home, and you don't feel like everyone's staring at you. It's very inclusive. Everybody has a good time. So yeah.
Nice. That sounds like a good time. Sounds like fun. Sounds like
Yes,
fun.
yes.
All right. All right. So where are you hosting the next pop-up?
So the next pop-up shop is November 11th, and then we have November 12th. So both of those are taking place at Ajax Community Center. That's 75 Centennial, just at Bailey, on the south side of Ajax, like near Harwood and Bailey area. So we've been doing the holiday pop-up. This is the 5th year we're doing it. And every year it just gets more popular and more popular. More businesses hear about it. And then everybody just rallies up to be a part of it. The first day is almost sold out already. So we're just working on the second day and the third day, and they're picking up pretty quick.
Okay. Okay. All right. So November 11th and 12th.
Yes.
Okay. In Ajax. All right, guys. You heard it. So you definitely want to reach out. And I mean, You're still accepting vendors?
Yeah, we still have vendors available for a couple of the days. So if anybody's watching, if you have a business, if you have a brand, if you have a friend or family with a business or a brand, and number one, if you're looking for an outlet to sell your products, if you're looking for more ways to expose your brand, if you're looking for businesses to network with, these are the type of events you want to be at. So definitely give me a shout and I can let you know what's available. Now, another great thing that people like about all our events is everything's always free. Admission is free, face painting free, information free, vibes free, because as a entrepreneur myself, I know how it is. I know how it is to have products and to try to get sales. So as the promoter, I could easily be like, all right, $5 to get in, $10 to get in. But I say to myself, I would rather you take that $5, $10 that you're going to give me for admission and go spend it on a local vendor, because sometimes people only come out with a $10, $20 to spend, and you don't want to just spend half of it on getting in to see the products that you want to buy. So we make the admission free, and yeah, we want you to spend the money on the entrepreneurs.
I love that. Love that. Yeah, definitely. You send me the information as well. There's a bunch of vendors that I know that, may want to take that opportunity up. So I'll definitely ship it out to them and see if they're interested for sure.
Much appreciated.
Yes, yes. So talk to us a bit about so that's what you do. You do the graphic design, you have the pop-ups, you do the book fair. Is there anything I'm missing? You said you're a DJ. You bring the vibe.
So I do DJing as well. So when we were in LA, the organizer, when I was telling him about my story and all that, he's like, "Oh, you DJ too?" He's like, "Well, on the Saturday of the event, we're doing a sound clash outside of one of the malls in Los Angeles. I want you to take part in that as well." Right? So yeah, so I do DJ. I don't DJ that much anymore because I'm just more so concentrated on like working with the different local businesses. But yeah, we took part in the sound clash in LA, and we ended up winning that. So that was good too. So at least I know I still got it. You know what I mean?
My gosh, so there's many, many benefits of you going out there. Look at that, like a whole
Yeah,
sound clash and everything. Wow,
exactly.
you brought all the talents, eh? Okay,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
all
Yeah, man.
right. So this is huge, this is big, important. We talk about it. We've been talking about it a lot, most recently about representation, so you're out here, you're doing the thing, you are wearing many hats because we see you at the book fair, we're seeing you behind the DJ booth, we're seeing you flying out, bringing your gifts and talents all over the world. Talk to us about why that is so important.
Well, honestly, I think it's important for myself. It's important because number one, I like to show people that you can use your own natural skills to do what you need to do. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you don't got to go get a job or do this or that, but at the same time, I'm also saying that you don't have to go get a job and go work for somebody else and make their dreams come true, right? One thing everybody or anybody that can say about me or the people that know me the longest, they'll tell you, "Oh man, Jamal's been doing that for a long time. Jamaal is always promoting himself. He sends out emails like crazy. He sends out messages like crazy. He's been doing graphics for a long time." So meaning I say that to say you got to be consistent, right? Um, I've been doing it as a side hobby. I've been doing it when I had a job, and it was my side hobby until it started to become my main function and I didn't need to work for somebody else anymore. So that's also kind of why I try to stay busy with the different avenues, the different events, because I got to eat, the family got to eat, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to maintain and again show people that it can be done. Also with the events that I do, because I work with a lot of businesses and have like not to be boasty, but because I have a lot of these natural skills where I have, because I was a DJ, I have links with lots of DJs. Because I was in the promoting industry, I have links with different venues and club owners and people like that. Because I do the graphic design, when I'm doing an event, I don't need to call anybody to make a flyer. I don't need to call anybody to edit a flyer. I sit down and do it myself. right? So these are some of the things that kind of help me get things done, because another person, if they need to get a flyer done or an edit, they have to either call somebody and pay them, or at minimum wait for that person to have free time to do it, right? If we come off this call right now and I need to edit a flyer, it'll be done in half an hour, right? Whereas somebody else got to wait for tomorrow, the person to come off work, for them to deal with their kids, do that, do this and that, right? So I have a little bit more flexibility with my time because I've been doing this for so long. I know I kind of strayed away from what you asked about why it's important, but I guess all these things are important for me. But again, like, I'm always on social media, bigging up local businesses, doing things to help the public as well. Just because I can, I have an outlet to do it, and I really do enjoy helping people and seeing them progress to a next stage in their business. So hope that answers the question.
Yes, definitely. No, that's huge. That's it. And it's important too for your own, because you said you have children. It's important for your children to see this. It's important for other people to see it. And it's important for us to support each other, for us as adults to see the real, genuine support of helping your fellow community members come up, celebrating them when they have wins, and then helping them understand the keys to success, which one major key is what you mentioned: consistency.
Yep.
That being consistent all the time, doing, sometimes it's monotonous doing the same things over and over again, but you got to figure it out. You got to make sure that you keep consistent.
I always tell people that like, there will be people that will be like, yo, you send me too much messages, right? And I say to them, until I send a message about something that you need. You know what I mean? So those are things that people got to remember. One thing I hate to hear people say is, oh, my friends don't support me, my family don't support me, nobody don't support me. Now, I'm not saying that's not true, that maybe people you expect to support you don't support you, but think about this. If you're switching up what you're doing every 2 years, maybe you're not giving people a chance to support you. Because just because you sell women's shoes, right, it doesn't mean that tomorrow I got to go buy women's shoes, right? What if the girl I'm with buys her own shoes, right? But that second year and third month, when you stopped 3 months ago, that might be the time I'd be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to buy shoes for my mom, my sister, and everybody. Now I'm going to be looking for those messages that you've been sending out for 2 years saying, oh, I sell women's shoes, I sell women's shoes. But if I call you now and say, yo, I'm ready to buy that shoes, and now you're telling me, oh, I don't do that anymore. I'm a weight trainer now. You know what I mean? Or now I'm teaching kids basketball, or, I'm doing this or that. You can't just come every time you switch up and complain that somebody's not supporting you. Again, there's people that I've known for 20 years, people that have known I do flyers for 20 years, and they only have linked me for the first time last month. But you'll never hear me complain and say, yo, why'd you take so long to link me? Well, because they just didn't need to link me yet. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't pay for flyers. Maybe they had somebody else doing it for them. I'm just glad that they decided to link me now. You know what I mean? And we move forward.
Yeah. And it's about that mindset too. You can't have that, complaining, pity party, this type of mindset when you're trying to be progressive and moving along in your business. You really have to have that, keep it pushing mindset. Like, if you can't find the support here, you got to go look somewhere else. Maybe you got to switch some things up or innovate yourself in some different type of way, but you got to keep it moving.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's so true. That's what a lot of people don't do. When you're going through rough times or you're going through a slow period, sometimes you got to pivot, right? Again, I've been doing this for a while, so there was a point where everybody, when I'm talking about like clubs and parties, right? Everybody was printing flyers, 5,000 flyers, 10,000 flyers, and then boom, social media took over, and my average order went from printing like 20,000 flyers to like 500 flyers, because these clients are saying, oh, I don't need any flyers. I'm just going to post it on Facebook. I'm just going to post it on Instagram. And that's just the natural progression of time, right? So then I have to now figure out, oh my gosh, like I don't have all this print work. What am I going to do now? Okay, well, let me start promoting to businesses. Let me start shifting my networks, shifting the things I'm promoting. You know what I mean? Instead of telling people we need print, 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 start thinking of different online packages that you could offer people, different promotion packages. So just like you said, you gotta know how to pivot when times are rough. Even when the pandemic happened, right? Um, People weren't doing anything. I know DJs that were like, their income stream just finished because there was no clubs, no parties, nothing like that, right? But then I've seen some of them go on to Twitch and start DJing on Twitch, and you know, because you can make money on that. I've seen people doing YouTube podcasts and different things like that. So there's ways to make it work. You just gotta be innovative like that and think about it to make it work.
100%, 100%. So how do we encourage people? Because you're out here and you're doing a lot of promoting, and as you said, you're doing a lot of networking and you host these different events. But how do you encourage other business owners to do just that, to keep it moving, to pivot, to change what they got to change? How do you encourage them?
I mean, myself, the best way that I found to do it most recently is honestly with a lot of the videos that I do on social media. So I was never really like a camera person to say I'm running out there and putting myself out there on social media, Facebook, doing this and that. But I found that when I started doing that, people started responding more. A lot of times I will go to a local, like off camera and on camera, I always support a lot of local businesses, local restaurants, and different things like that. So I started taking out my camera and every time I'm at a local restaurant, I would pull out my camera. What up, people? This is Jaw Wiggs. I'm over here at, Mr. Jerk in Whitby. Support local, shop local. These guys have been here for this, that. Make sure you come through. If you're in Whitby and come grab the stuff, right? So kind of leading by example kind of way, right? That's got to a point where I started going places, and there's people that say, "Yo, how come you're not making a video? How come you didn't make a video for my for my spot?" I'm just like, I'm just this is just I'm just doing it natural. I wasn't really doing it for freeness or do this or that. But then people started to just gravitate to it. Even when I go to different type of events, there's people that are saying to me, "Oh, I seen you on Instagram. I love your videos, man. Thank you for doing those videos. Thank you for doing those videos." And it's those are the ones that hit you like, oh man, like you actually like watch my videos, like they actually mean something to you and different things like that. As well, I always attend other people's events. If there's different pop-up shops around the city, I'm always making sure I'm there supporting. I'm also there handing out my business cards, my flyers, and different things like that. Again, promoting myself, but also showing people this is how you do it. This is how you get yourself out there. This is how you get your business out there. So again, I've had times where just recently I went to an event. On Sunday, I was at an event on behalf of the Fantastic Book Fair. And then a couple of the people that came up to me were all saying to me, "Hey, were you at this event last year? Were you at that event last year? I think you gave me a business card." And as soon as they say something like that, I know that for sure they were correct, because I really goes to all these networking events, talks to all the vendors, lets them know what's going on. So I love it when people actually remember me and bring it back and just kind of bring me down to reality and say, "Oh, thank you for doing what you're doing." There's people that tell me, "Yo, you inspire," and it's crazy, man. And then some of the messages I get from people after these events, I don't even know, well, I don't even realize sometimes the impact that I'm making on these people's lives till after. They'll be telling me, "It was your event where I made my first sale for my business. I was talking to you I was a vendor at your event, and we were talking for 5 minutes, and you gave me some tips and tricks about my business. And I've never forgot that, that's always stuck with me." So different things that people tell me, kind of let me know that, again, like I'm doing a good thing. And again, it's just by leading by example. A lot of the things I do is natural. I don't force it. It's just naturally me. I'm a helpful person by nature. So a lot of people know they could ask me a question and I'm not gonna not answer them. I'm gonna give them my best answer to help them be the best person.
That's nice. That's nice. That's great, man. That's what we need. That's what we need. Because the entrepreneurship journey is not easy. It's not an easy journey. There are obstacles that pop up, so it's always good to have somebody that, whether you know them or you don't personally like that, just encouraging you to keep it going, to drop those little gems along the way, because we all need it. We all definitely need it. But what are some of the resources that you, or even tips that you would give to any of those entrepreneurships that are coming up now, whether they've just started or they're on their journey, they're on their way? What are some resources that you could offer, or some tips that you might give?
I would say some tips that I would give is number one, don't give up. Be persistent, right? Sometimes you're gonna go through slow periods, but you just got to keep on pushing. Not every time you walk into McDonald's, there's a lineup. Sometimes you're the only one in the store. Sometimes you walk into Tim Hortons and you're the only one in the drive-thru, right? But then there's other times you go and there's 50 people in front of you, right? So these are the things you got to think about. Every store has busy periods. Every store has down times. It doesn't mean they're gonna close, right? I would also say leverage and use the people around you, whether it be your family, your friends. Use them to get feedback. Use them to test out things that you need to test out. And just be out there, get real life experience. There's lots of resources nowadays with the internet and YouTube and social media. So you don't have to be stuck in a position. Even if you need information and you feel embarrassed to ask somebody, you can find that information on social media. You could go on a chat room. You could get it from random people. So just use the resources around you, with caution, I guess. Don't just ask opinion and take every word you get. But I would just say use the resources around you. Use your friends and family, because they can be your biggest supporters as well as your biggest critics, because they're gonna also tell you how it is, without filter, right? Yeah, so I would say use the resources around you, use the internet. There's so much access to things nowadays. In terms of like physical things, if you need money, there's different programs. You can get grants out there. If you're looking for places, there's even people that I check with frequently to see, hey, where's this? Is there grants available here? Or I might say to people, yo, I need a link for this or that. So, ask the people around you, because again, some of these people have your best interest in mind as well.
100%, for sure. For
Oh,
sure.
and also I would say, like, like, don't overlook platforms like these as well, like local podcasts and people that are around you that are doing things. If you know somebody that's doing a podcast, say, hey, when are you gonna have me a guest on your show? You know what I mean? Don't just think, oh, it's not gonna be look good if I ask to be on their show. Think about what the effects of you being on their show is gonna do, right? So don't worry about how you're gonna look to that one person. Think about how you're gonna look to the hundreds of people that are watching, right? So you just gotta think of your best interests, and don't be scared of asking or a no, or you know what I mean? Just do your best to get yourself out there as much as possible, because again, nowadays visibility is very important. If people don't see you or know what you're doing, then you're going to fall to the bottom of the feed. You're going to fall to the bottom of the list very quickly. Now, again, just to go back again with the consistent part, I'm always promoting my business, always promoting my graphics, to the point where there's people that don't even use my services that refer people to me, because they know they get a message about graphic design once a week or every couple of days. Oh, you need a flyer? Call this guy. even it's come to a point with the pop-up shops. People people come up to me with their friends saying, "Oh, my friend has a business. He's looking for ways to get out his business. Can you talk to him, or can you have a meeting with him?" You know what I mean? So yeah, you just gotta leverage as much resources as you can that you have around you.
And that is very true. It is very true. You gotta, because there's so much business, and that's what I think we don't realize out here in our city. From east to west, we got a lot of different people doing different things, a lot of different opportunities, a lot of people to connect with. So the opportunity is out there. All you got to do is take that first step, and don't be scared, like you said, to hear a no, because one no just means there's a million other yeses out there somewhere else,
Exactly.
for you to pick up on. And if you guys are looking for an interview, just reach out to me. I'll definitely interview. I'll interview you. I'll interview anybody pretty much. Come on here and share your story with me. 100% for sure. I'll have you.
And with you as
Um,
well. Like it's about content as well, right? So if
mm,
you yourself was shy and you didn't want to ask people to be on your show, then you wouldn't have all this content to be posting and to actually leverage yourself down the line. So maybe in like 6 months, a year, you might get a call from Revolt TV, and they might be like, "Hey, we had seen your podcast and we seen you have all these people you interviewed, and and who knows what the next step is, right?"
100%. Put it out there though, put it out there, because yeah,
Sorry about that.
yeah, definitely consistency is everything. You guys know, all the people that have been watching me know I've been doing this for a little bit of time still, so I've had lots of guests, but I'm not stopping. I love this. I love hearing different people's stories and connecting people with each other, because I think it's super important for us to do that as a community, making sure that we're supporting each
Sorry.
other. Bless you. So talk to us about your why. Why are you doing
Sorry.
this? Bless you. Why do you keep every day, getting up and staying consistent and putting out your emails, to people and finding more opportunities? Talk to us about it.
So the why, honestly, a lot of the why again is because I try to stay busy. Again, we got mouths to feed at home, and again, a lot of the stuff I do is a culmination of things that I've been doing my whole life, in terms of the graphic design, the event promotion, the business management, customer service. Sorry, when I sneeze like 10 times. So yeah, it's just it's the why is because I say, why not, right? I have all these skills that I've obtained and built over the years. So why not use them as they were given to you? You know what I mean? You don't want the things you know how to do to go to waste.
100%. I hear that. 100%.
And also I love the flexibility and freedom of being an entrepreneur and doing my own things. Trust me, the last job I had, it just got so hectic because I I started telling the managers like when I could come to work, and I was like, you know what, like I can't work 8 to 6, but I can work this to that, because it was I just I was so used to doing my own thing and picking up stuff when I need to and answering calls and doing this type of that, so that I just felt like I was boxed in. You know what I mean? I don't want to like down on anybody that has a job, because you got to do what you got to do. But I was doing so much stuff that I naturally know how to do, and I was able to monetize it, that it's like, why not, right? Why not? Why sit in front of somebody else's computer for 8 hours to make $100 when I could sit home, promote myself like I normally do, and then get a couple jobs to make a couple $100?
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to make that decision to trust in yourself and your own abilities. And I think we all could do it, to be honest with you. We just literally have to find something that we're naturally good at or love doing, and finding a way to monetize it. It's not an easy thing to do, to find out how to do it and to actually do it. But a lot of people say that they see the benefits when they decide to do it.
100%. It's a big step, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. And what better fulfillment? Because I remember when I was younger, I used to always ask people, because especially the elders that were around me, why they hated their jobs, because you'd always hear them talk about, oh, I have to go to work. Oh, it's Monday. I hate Monday, or can't wait for the weekend. Do. And I would always ask them, like, why do you work there if you hate your job? And I
It's
realized easy, real quick, when I was young, that people are doing jobs that they don't like just because they got to make ends meet, or they feel that they have to, do the job. And I always said to myself, I don't ever want to do a job that I don't like.
that
You
you
know what I
don't
mean?
like.
I want to
Exactly.
love my job, like I want to be happy, like just brings me some extra type of, happiness. Yeah.
No, but
So
it's real, because again, like, as you know, like working, nobody like working somewhere where you're not happy. It's more stress on you. It's more stress on you. You're sitting there like, oh, waiting to go home. When you go home, and then when you go home now, you're stressed because you're thinking about all the stress you had at work. So you still don't even get to relax. You know what I mean? And then by the time you're ready to relax, it's late and you're already thinking about, oh God, tomorrow I gotta go back to this damn place and, and do this. Um, but
gosh.
so, but like you said, sometimes you got no choice, or you got to do it, or sometimes people don't know what they're good at, so they have to kind of work until you find that key, or find that niche that
Mhm.
you love.
Yeah. And it's because it's not easy, being an entrepreneur. A lot of people are scared of the work too. There's a lot of people that are scared of the work because you can't stop working. It's not like you can take a day off, but you got to organize that day off. You got to schedule that time that you're taking off. It's not like you can call in sick, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or just decide that, no, man, like there's a lot of responsibility that goes into running your own thing and doing your own thing. So that's a big part of it as well. You've got to be ready to take on the responsibility.
Yep, exactly. Because like you said, it's a constant work. It's nonstop. So if you think that you're going to be working for yourself, and then it's going to get easier, or you're going to have more time, let me be the one to tell you, it's going to get harder, and you're going to be spending more time working than you did when you had a 9 to 5 job. Because again, you're the promoter, you're the marketer, you're the accountant, you're the creator, you're you're every piece. You're the videographer, you're the host.
I'm telling
So
you.
you gotta be ready to put in the work for what you believe in. And if you believe in yourself, then you definitely got to be ready to put in the work.
Yeah. And when you do find something that you actually love, it's not even work. Like it is work, but it's not strenuous. You're not annoyed by it. You're excited to do it. Like, you're excited to put on your next show, or to put on your next event, or, to DJ the next time. Like it's gotta be exciting, to do
Well,
to do all these
that's
things.
exactly what it is. So, like I said, like a lot of the stuff I do now is a culmination of things that I've been doing at different points in my career. So nowadays, when I found a way to kind of mesh it all together, it doesn't seem like work. Like, yes, I'm doing work, and it is hard work, but it's not stressful. Um, because I'm just used to it, and I honestly do love it. I love music. I love going to events, and I love networking with people. And again, I love seeing people elevate. I love seeing people care about their business as much as I do. So when I see you elevating and going to the next step and promoting yourself and doing this and that, it kind of makes me happy as well. So
So what keeps you motivated?
motivated. What keeps me motivated? Honestly, it's I would say like my kids, most likely, because you want them to have a good time. You want them to be able to travel, see the world, do different things. Um, and you don't want them to go through some of the hard times that we went through, you know what I mean, or that our parents went through. My son right now, he's 7. He always comes to all the different pop-up shops that I do. Um, he knows my business. He knows my logo when he sees it. It's to a point where he's even familiar with lots of the vendors that come to the markets. He'd be like, is Lather gonna be there today, or is Love My Melanin gonna be there today? Oh, I wanted to get a soap from her. Or even when we have products in the house, he'll be like, oh, the soap is done. When's the next pop-up shop? we gotta go get something from this company or that company. So he's even come to a point where he knows it's important to shop local, to support local businesses, to support local entrepreneurs. And he knows daddy has his own business. Daddy doesn't work for nobody. So those are the things I love seeing him talk about. You know what I mean? He even tells me, like, he's like he tells people my dad is famous. You know what I mean? Because I'll be on Instagram making videos and different things like that, on YouTube doing interviews and things like that. So to him, he loves it. So I love when he sees me doing that stuff, because as a 7-year-old, he already has that in his brain. Well, I want to have my own business too. Like last year, he even told me, like, he's told me he needs to come up with a DJ name for himself. So those are the things that keep me motivated. You know what I mean? My daughter is just turned, let me see, I think she just turned like 13 or 14, because she just started grade 9. So again, seeing her, come home with good grades and growing into her own person. These are just the things that, again, just keep me motivated and keep me pushing and saying, you know what? We got to make sure that we got flyers to print and make sure that next event it goes good, because again, we got this next generation to look out for.
100%. I hear that. And the kids are your biggest hype too. Like, when you see your kids hyping you up and getting excited about the stuff that you're doing, you can't stop, man. You can't stop,
He'd be like, Daddy, are we? He'd be like, because when I go to pop-up shops, like on the weekend, sometimes there might be like 2 or 3 that I go to, right? If there's ever a day I'm only going to one, oh, how come are we going to any other pop-up shops? How come there's only one? The other day I had a book fair. He's like, Daddy, this was the best book fair. This was the best book fair that you ever did. You know what I mean? Those are the things that it's like, they hit your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so talk to us about the different events that you have coming up. Remind us about everything that we can, tap into what you have going on, and then let us know where we could find you.
All right. So the direct events we have coming up, again, the dates are Saturday, November 11th, Sunday, November 12th, and then we have day 3, which is a month later, Sunday, December the 10th. That is our annual Durham Region Holiday Pop-Up Marketplace. It started out as 1 day, and then we had to extend it to 2 days, and then we had to extend it to 3 days, a little bit spread apart, because again, they have been becoming so popular with entrepreneurs. Everybody wants to be a part of it. When people hear about it, their friends tell them about it, their other businesses tell them about it. So everybody just wants to be involved. With my promotion background, we get a diverse crowd. We get young people, old people, we get Black people, white people, Asian people. So we have a mixed crowd of patrons and supporters, which the different vendors love as well, because again, they don't stick themselves in a box where they're saying it's only one set of people seeing my stuff. You know what I mean? They can come out and their stuff's getting out there to all cultures. So we have those events coming up. Those are, again, November 11th, 12th, and December the 10th. And I think those are the last 3 events that we're going to have for the year. One of my partners, I did an event last year called Sweet Treats, which was dedicated to only like dessert people and cake bakers and different things like that. I wasn't going to do it this year, but one of my partners wants me to do it. So we'll see if we can locate a spot and fit it in good timing. But for right now, it's just the holiday markets that we're concentrating on. We just finished our fantastic book fair 2 weeks ago. So that was the last one for the year. So after the holiday markets, we're pretty much right now just planning our events for 2024. We have the first set of events lined up already, but we haven't put them out yet. But you can look out for our Family Day pop-up shop that happens Family Day Monday. We're having a fantastic book fair in March. So those are just some of the events coming up. But directly, it's the 5th annual Durham Region Holiday Pop-Up Marketplace taking place at Ajax Community Center for all 3 dates. And if you need any information on being a vendor, supporting, coming to shop, anything like that, you can check us out at www.epgfx.com, or you can check us out on social media at mprographics. Or I tell people, just ask any 5 people about EPG and somebody will point you in my direction.
Yes. Okay. And you said it was 75 Centennial?
Yeah, 75 Centennial Road in Ajax. That's at the corner of Harwood and Bailey. Again, Ajax Community Center. So it's pretty popular in Ajax. So once you say that or ask somebody for directions, they will be able to direct you right there.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And so usually I like to get, the interviewee to share like a quote or a motivational, inspirational word that you use to kind of help you on your daily journey, something that you kind of go to. What would you like to share?
Well, I'm gonna share a quote that I kind of made up, or something that I always say to people and on social media. You got to take time and mind your business, because if you don't mind your business and care for your business, then you can't expect anybody else to. Right? So that's kind of twofold, meaning take care of yourself, take care of your own business, and don't too much concentrate on other people's business, meaning like don't be about the gossip and where, oh, they're doing that, so I got to do this. They're doing that, I got to do this, right? Mind your business in the traditional sense. And taking it further, you literally have to take care of and mind your own business, meaning you got to promote, you got to you got to organize, you got to build, you got to network. Because if you're not going to mind your own business and take care of your own business, then you literally cannot get upset if Miss 416 doesn't care about Mpro Graphics. Because if I don't care about my business, then why, how could I expect you to care about my business? If I don't care about my business and promote my business, I can't complain if people don't call me and refer me and things like that. So again, you gotta mind your business. You gotta take care and mind your business, because you can't expect, or else you can't. Nobody else will. And then I tell people, I also add this on the end. If you don't want to mind your business, or you don't got time to do it, then you could also pay me, and I'll mind your business for you.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. All right. All right. Well, anybody you want to shout out?
I want to shout out my kids. I want to shout out my girl at home. Also want to shout out my partner with the fantastic book fair, Keisha Christie. Again, she's our resident storyteller, and she's been with me since the beginning. So I want to shout her out. Want to shout out one of the businesses that is always by our side when we need them. I want to shout out Ryan Knight from ACBN, the Afro Caribbean Business Network. So just to give him a little plug, he works with a lot of businesses in the diaspora. He helps with funding and things like that. So if you guys are out there and you need funding for your business, you need support, you need help to do your taxes, you need help with grant writing, any type of things like that, that's another outlet where you can reach out to. So he's always at my events. We give him a platform to discuss his business. And so I want to shout him out as well. So that's Ryan Knight from the Afro Caribbean Business Network. I want to shout out Keisha Christie from Talking Tales. And again, I also want to shout out people like yourself, Miss 416 Love, for doing these live streams and interviews and giving entrepreneurs another platform to showcase themselves and talk about their business.
Thank you. Thank you. No, we appreciate you too coming on and sharing all of the great things that you're doing. So you need to big up yourself on that because you're out here doing the thing, and we appreciate that. And since you have this pop-up coming up November 11th and 12th, we definitely have to try to make our way. I'm all the way out in the West, so I'm gonna have to trek all the way out to Ajax to come and support the thing, but I'll definitely do my best to make sure I make it to at least one of the two of the days to support you out there.
A common thing that every time I do an event, put out an event, I always hear this. Jamaal, when are you coming to the West? When are you coming to Brampton, Mississauga, Hamilton, Peel, this and that? So I've done a couple events out in the West already, but I'll tell you what my thing is, right? Because I'm from the East, I know the East like the back of my hand, and I have a lot of links out here. A couple times I've made attempts to come to the West based on other people's links and connections, and then last minute things turn around, last minute people flop me. So I try to stay where I'm familiar, but I'm going to put it to you as well. If you have solid links for venues, if you know places to do events, all you got to do is let me know. I'll make the trip out there. I'll check it out. I'll talk to whoever I need to talk to make it happen. But I want to come West more consistently. I'm willing. I just need a little guidance from the West End Massives. Because I could just call a place. Right. I could just call a place in Mississauga or Brampton, but imagine I call a place and then it's the wrong place that nobody likes to go to. You know what I mean? So I need that input from the viewers as well. So people, if you guys know spots in the West End, give me a shout. Give Miss 416 Love a shout, and we'll make it happen.
Okay, so you heard it here first, guys. We got to make this link up happen. Definitely always about the collaboration. So we're gonna make it work. 2024. I'm definitely gonna try to get you to come out to and have a fantastic book fair at my kids' school. 100%. I'm gonna try to make that happen. So we are gonna talk about how we can get that. Even if that's the event, we could big that up. We could figure it out. But that's definitely one of the things that you guys you're gonna have to come down for sure. 100%.
I'm willing.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you for coming through. We definitely will stay connected. All right. So I just want to thank you again for jumping on and sharing your journey with us. All right.
Well, thank you as well. Great show. Love all the questions, and hopefully there's room to have me back at some point as well.
Of course. I'm always willing to have people come back and share more of what they have going on, Definitely.
Yes.
100%. All right, guys, you heard it here. There's a collaboration in the mix. It's gonna happen. All right. So you guys are gonna see some great stuff coming through. I can't wait to see what we're gonna come up with, but it's gonna be great. So thank you guys all for joining me. You know what it is right here. What's the 411, where everybody's story matters. It's very important you guys rewatch the beginning of this all the way to the end if you guys are just jumping in right now, because there's a lot of gems dropped tonight. All right. So make sure that you guys check this gentleman out. If you need any graphic design, if you need any links with anything, seems like he's well connected. All right. So make sure that you guys reach out to him and just touch base and check out all of the great things that he has going on. November 11th and 12th, he did mention out in Ajax that at 75 Centennial Road, they're going to be doing that pop-up shop. So you want to make sure that you check it out. It's a 5th annual, it's big, and it's only just going to get bigger. All right, guys? So make sure you support the thing. All right, I'll see you same time, same place on Monday. All right, guys? Take care.